Welcome back to Resell Intel. Let's take a look at the top selling pre-owned hats on eBay. I've searched for brands and styles that have sold for $30 or more. Our first brand up is Patagonia. This is a classic baseball hat that sold for $85 and $5.50 shipping. It has a really nice patch on the front. There's the label there. Patagonia's classic tag is. Our next example is the Fitzroy Bear patch trucker hat. Here's the tag again. A little blurry there. This one sold for $37.95 and $7 shipping. A similar style here is the Fitzroy Bison. So these two hats, the bear and the bison, were sold multiple times for at least $30 or more on eBay. This one went for $42.95 and $7 shipping. So this is also considered a trucker hat. In case you're wondering what the difference is, baseball caps are typically made of cotton fabric with 6 panels. They're fitted and shorter. All baseball caps have that little button on the top called a squatchy. Trucker hats are usually half plastic mesh, and then the other half could be cotton or polyester fabric. They usually have a raised front panel that can have foam sewn on the inside, so they're typically taller and display the logo. And they're all snapbacks. And some of them will even have that rope hanging from the front. Our next brand is POLO Ralph Lauren. This is a teddy bear patch hat. I saw several of these sell online. This one went for $39.50 and $7.50 shipping. And here's the tag. This is a one size only. It's 100% cotton. And if you ever see this teddy bear on other Ralph Lauren vintage products, make sure you check the comps, especially with the sweaters. Those can go for over $100 even if they're damaged. Our next example is the classic logo. So this hat sold for $43.99 and $5.49 shipping. It's distressed. Here's the label. Our next example is the distressed flag patch. So I did see a few of these sell. This one sold for $39.95 and $5.95 shipping. This is another distressed hat. And you can see this one's actually made of denim. And there's the label, and the strap is adjustable. Before I move on, we ask that if you find this content useful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'd like to know which hats you've had success selling online. Now on to Nike. So I'm sure you all know the Nike brand. I found were the 3 types of Nike hats that sold consistently for the last 3 months. So the first one was the Roger Federer hat. So this one sold for $65 and $5.90 shipping, and it has this very unique embroidery for the Roger Federer letters. And so we can take a look at the tag. Sorry, it's upside down. But it says Legacy, Dry Fit. And the back is the hook and loop feature. And it says Federer on there. If you're new to listing, make sure you never use the word Velcro in your listing because that is a banned company name. The next Nike hat that I noticed that sold often was the Air Jordan. So this one is a snapback. It went for $42 and $5.15 shipping. Here's the tag. Here's the logo. And the third type of Nike hat that I found that sold often were the vintage 90s style. This is a checker pattern. It sold for $30.95, $5.90 shipping. It has the classic swoosh logo on the front embroidered. And this is a 100% cotton baseball cap. Made in USA is another feature you should be looking for. Sorry, it's upside down. Our next top selling brand is Sports Specialties. Now, I do have a video that goes into detail of all the vintage sports hats. I highly recommend you see that because I cannot cover all the different types of hats here. This one sold for $54.99 and $5.99 shipping. This is Chicago Bulls. And you'll notice that this has its own unique script. So this says Chicago, and then it has this unique Bulls in an embroidered font. And here's the Sports Specialties tag. And I have 2 more examples here. So this is another vintage 90s Sports Specialties hat. This one sold for $99.99 and $5.10 shipping. So Los Angeles Lakers. And my last example is the Detroit Lions. So this one went for $59 and $4.99 shipping. And you can see it says Team NFL. And very, very faint here it says Sports Specialties. And then we have the unique font and embroidery for the Lions section. And that's what Sports Specialties is known for. Our 5th brand is New Era. There are a few different varieties of New Era, and I go into further detail in my other video for vintage sports hats. But for now, I'd like to give you at least one example. This hat went for $60 and $5.99 shipping. This is the Toronto Blue Jays logo. And here's our tag again for New Era. This is a 100% polyester hat. And this also has a very distinct side patch. Another example is the Monster Energy logo hat. So this one went for $35 in a winning bid and $10 shipping. Let's take a look at the insides. And this was 100% cotton. And this is another snapback. And you can see the logos on the side as well. And my third example for New Era is the Whalers cap. So this is a hockey vintage cap and it's sold for $30 and $5.30 shipping. Has a great embroidered patch here. And on the back it says NHL. This one is 100% polyester. Alright, so we've gone over 5 brands of hats that sell for over $30 on eBay. So I've given you Nike, Patagonia, Sports Specialties, Polo, Ralph Lauren, and New Era. Now I want to dive into the random brands and the vintage that sell on eBay as well. This one is the Harley Davidson. I'm sure everyone knows Harley, but not all Harley caps sell as well. This one has the spell out on the back. This went for $35.99 and $6.25 shipping and has the classic logo on the front. I also want to mention hats for gun clubs. Those seem to be very popular. This one had a nice big logo on it. This sold for $55 and $5.30 shipping. Our next example is a biker hat. So this is a trucker hat. You can see the rope here. And it has a great embroidered patch. Look at that, bald eagle. And this is from a bike week. This is vintage, it's 1994. But I've found that biker hats that have great embroidery and patchwork tend to sell well. So this one went for $74.99 and $5.20 shipping. Another interesting hat that sold was a U.S. mail hat. This is vintage, so this is from USPS Post Office. Sold for $50 and $5.50 shipping. And this is pretty old. You can see from the tag. And then we have Cat or Caterpillar. This is another trucker hat. This one was also vintage. It's camo. It has a nice big patch. This went for $39.99 and $6.25 shipping. And this one was made by Tonkin. And this is also made in USA. My next example is Pennzoil. So this one is another trucker hat. So this one went for $32.95 and $5.95 shipping. What I noticed is that a lot of companies that are associated with cars and manufacturing tend to do well. Even if you've never heard of them before and they have a great patch, it's worth checking out. Our next hat is a classic. So the corduroy cap is actually very popular, especially for vintage. So this one is a Pepsi Cola logo, and this one sold for $35.99 and $4.79 shipping. And you can see here has the adjustable strap. This one's 100% cotton, and this one is Team Excellence. Our next example is the Porsche brand logo for a trucker cap hat, and this one also is a corduroy. So again, this is a very popular style for vintage hats. This one sold for $30 and $5.15 shipping. Here's a little close-up of that patch, really nice looking. Moving on, we have Michelin. So you saw the Pennzoil had a nice patch. Michelin is another brand associated with cars. It sold for $40 and $5.50 shipping. That embroidery really makes a difference for the popularity. This is another snapback. And this one is Swingster, made in USA. And the final hat I have to show you is a vintage Marlboro. This is a red corduroy hat. It sold for $39.99 and $5.20 shipping. And this is 100% cotton. As always, we hope this information was useful to you. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment letting us know which item categories you would like to see in future videos. Thank you for watching.